Hello there, everybody. Sherman, Leave a Legacy, episode number 52, Embrace Change. But before I keep going, I want you to notice this is what I call corporate cleavage for the man. It's a nice dimple in the tie. Haven't had one in these videos for the last little bit that you could see. And you can definitely see the prominent cleavage here. Respect. All right, so embracing change. One of the cool books that was written back, I want to say it was in the early 2000s, was Who Moved the Cheese? It was a great little allegory about two mice, two men inside a labyrinth, a maze, and they're sitting there around the cheese, and all of a sudden they wake up one day, cheese is gone, and then it goes through the process of how Hem and Haw, the two humans, identified change. And it was a very, very easy read. It spoke in volumes. You could see a lot of value in that story and how it relates to you when it comes to different change that's going to occur in your life. Now, for me personally, I literally love change. I embrace it, all arms. I love new things. And you might say that's really weird. It's probably a little out there to say, but really what it comes down to is that my father back in the 90s was running through the corporate ladder, and it was basically every 3 years we moved. Started out in California at the age of 7, moved to Chicagoland area, stayed there for a few years, moved then to Ohio, stayed there for a couple years. Moved to England, went to a British school for a couple years. Then I went down to, and actually boarded at school in London, not because I was a bad kid, but because that's where the closest American style school was. So that was my junior year. Came back to senior year in Ohio, went to Utah for freshman year of college, came back to Ohio to work, and then went to the Philippines for 2 years serving a Christian mission. Learned Tagalog. Don't speak that. I know this is like Asian face. It's Chinese, Korean, and Caucasian is what makes this action happen. I know I'm funny looking. And then after that, graduating from college at BYU, and then ultimately going to Wisconsin for work. And so what's interesting though is because of all those moves, it got me to embrace change, to stop worrying about what I used to have or what I wanted, and oh, they don't have this, that, and the other thing. I really honed in on embracing the new that existed out there in the world and how beautiful of a place it is and how fun the differences are. And I want to correlate that then to how you view change in your life. You can definitely view it as, and some change does suck, right? Finding out that your spouse no longer wants to be with you is gut-wrenching and it's difficult to go through. It does allow you then to pick a better partner. It does allow you to grow. And I know that's kind of the cockeyed optimist in me and viewing things, looking at this and there's barely any water left and going, but it's enough, right? It's full. I'm good with that. I'll take a drink now that it's in front of me. It's important, though, to recognize that change is going to occur in your career and especially in your profession. And if you're an entrepreneur, it's going to happen quite a bit. And so recognizing to pivot quickly, understanding that the marketplace, your customers, if they buy or don't buy, are sending you signals, and being able to pick up on those and being able to then shift and pivot as quickly as possible. Being nimble is extremely important. And what does that mean? What does that mean? Those buzzwords that are said quite a bit. Being nimble means recognizing the analytics of your business. So if, let's say, for example, you're selling a widget, let's say this color tie, and you realize that this thing sells twice as fast as the red tie, which isn't the case, but it does. And then what you want to do then is you want to make sure that you have enough inventory in your stores to make sure that you can fly through this hot producing tie. If there's an ability to cut off any inventory on the red ties, do it quickly, so that way you're not stuck at the end of the year or the end of the season trying to price all these red ties that now are going off at clearance, and you're basically making cost on them. That's what I mean by quickly. In the service model, it's identifying really what is working well in your marketing strategies, what are people actually buying from a service perspective, and then continuing to hammer that on. I think a lot of times in the service model industry, it's trying to recognize who really is your target marketplace. What is that niche, and what value are you bringing to that specific niche in order for you to stay relevant? And there's a lot of feedback that you can do, different kinds of tools like from SurveyMonkey to, you can send out postcards that just have real quick, hey, A, B, C, D, give us some feedback on how we're doing. Note that when you ask for feedback, expect a little negative to come in there. It's just inevitable. You're not going to hit home runs every single time. That's just the reality of how life is. You're going to still pursue hitting those home runs. You just don't know if it's really going to happen on every single one. So as you identify and recognize for your own practice how you accept change, that's the question that I have for you is, when it comes to change, how quick are you to move on it, and do you embrace it? Have a fantastic day, everybody.